In this tutorial, we are going to go over setting up our microbit, logging into the MakeCode website, and creating our first code using the LCD screen to initialize and show STEM 101 greenhouse. So up until now, we have our greenhouse all assembled. I have my extension board plugged in. I have all my components wired up. My USB is connected to my microbit, and my USB that's connected to my microbit is connected to my computer. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to the internet and open up a browser, and I'm going to type in MakeCode. Now when I get MakeCode, I have a few options. The first one's going to take us to Microsoft MakeCode. We don't want that. We want to go down to Microsoft MakeCode for microbit. So make sure you have this icon right here. Now it might ask you to create an account, or it might sign in if you're registered. If you're signed in already to your Google account, it might already link you in. I do recommend you signing in so that all your projects go with you, on whichever computer you do. So up here you'll say sign in, then you're going to sign in with your Google account. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. This new project is going to be called STEM 101 Automated Greenhouse. Go ahead and hit create. So if you're not familiar with drag and drop block coding, MakeCode does a great job giving you the opportunity to code within blocks or using Python or Java. So depending on the level of coding you want to get into in this project, you can have 3 platforms to choose from. For these tutorials, we're going to be using the blocks. On the left side here, you'll see your microbit. Depending on the code you are doing, you will see different inputs. So if you have like a servo moving, you'll see the actual hardware will show up as a servo. If you are using the microbit to do something on the LED array here, that's going to show up. So not all of it is simulated, but it does do a pretty good job of simulating some. These are your block options for codes. So basic, input, music, LED, radio, loops, logic, variables, math, and so on. We're going to be spending some time going to this extensions screen where we're going to get some of our additional add-ons that we need. If we scroll down here to advanced, there's some more options here. We're going to spend some time with pins and so forth. On the right side over here is where we're going to be working with our code. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into this. I'll try to explain as we go through these tutorials why I'm doing what I'm doing and not just doing it. Okay, so we're going to go, this first code is going to be setting up our LCD screen to show automated STEM 101 greenhouse when it powers up. But then we're also going to be using it to get data from our hydrothermograph and our moisture sensors and so forth. So we're going to be using it to kind of as a visual to see what our data is. So we're going to go on start. I'm going to get rid of our forever. So to get rid of something, you're just going to take it, drag it, throw it in there. Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to go down to that extensions, and we're going to type in LCD. Okay, we want to get code for our LCD screen. So we're going to use this one, 1602. And when we do this, it's going to bring in more options for coding using that particular piece of hardware. So for this code, we're going to need to initialize. So we want to have this LCD be initialized with our address. Our address is going to stay 0. If we have other LCD screens, we can map that. But then we're going to go back, and we want to say show string. And we want the string to say STEM 101. And our X and Y, these are in reference to the LCD screen. There's 2 rows and 16 columns in this particular one. So we'll be putting X and Y values in the future. So let's go down here, get another show string. Okay, we're just going to say greenhouse. And we're going to want this to be at Y1. Okay, so Y1 is our second row. Okay, then I'm going to go back up to my basic, and I'm going to put a pause in here because we're going to be eventually having more code come up. So I want to have a pause and then clear LCD. And what this pause is going to do is it's going to be the duration that STEM 101 greenhouse is actually up. Okay, so let's go ahead. We want to make sure we're connected to the microbit. So if this were to say connect, okay, we would go through that process. I'm already connected, so I'm just going to go ahead and download the code. Okay, so we can look here. I'm going to download it one more time. So I hit download. And it shows up STEM 101 greenhouse, and then it clears out. So this is our first set of code. Go ahead and try this on your own.